All of our productions at GCTV are sponsored in part by Bay State Health, providing the care you and your family need when you need it close to home. Visit them online at baystatehealth.org. Greenfield Savings Bank. Visit them at 400 Main Street in Greenfield. Call them at 774-3191 or go online to greenfieldsavings.com. Greenfield Community College, providing access and excellence in higher education in the Pioneer Valley. Visit them at gcc.mass.edu. The Hammond Family. The Hammond family are longtime supporters of Greenfield Community Television. New Fortune Chinese Restaurant on the Mohawk Trail in Greenfield. Visit them online at newfortunema.com. Call them at 772-0838 and check them out on Facebook. Real Cleaning Services, cleaning Hampshire and Franklin County since 1972. We don't cut corners, we clean them. Check them out online at realclean.com. Call them at 413-422-1143. People's United Bank, located at 45 Federal Street in Greenfield. You can call them at 774-3713 or visit them online at peoples.com. The Solar Store of Greenfield, replacing fossil fuels and nuclear power one home at a time. Visit them at 23 Fisk Ave. Call them at 413-772-3122 or visit them online at solarstoreofgreenfield.com. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting all of GCTV's productions.
Discussion on water meters for the city of Greenfield. And the town is in a position where we have to change our meters out. Our meters right now are averaging about 20 to 22 years. They're designed to last 12 to 15 years. So we're beginning to get to that point where we really need to start doing that. And the question is how do you want to do it? You just want to go and continue to do it the old-fashioned way, put a meter in, send a guy out there every 6 months to read your meter, and not have any data, not any input? Or do you want to turn around and do a smart meter program? Most communities that are in your situation will turn around and opt for the smart meter program. And I'm going to go through some slides real quick, and at the end of that I'll talk about some of the equipment that I have up here. And unfortunately you can't ask any questions because you're not here. However, my office is always open to anyone who wants to turn around and talk about meters, and we can possibly set up another time to do this. The meter that you have, or most of the meters that we have, is called it's a Neptune meter. The older models have a small amount of lead in them. The newer models, like this one right here, which is a Neptune, has no lead in it, or is certified lead-free, and it is a dumb meter. It does not give us readings until we go out with this wand right here and actually come up to your house, and we open it up and we go this way, or you have one of these touch pads and you'll basically do that. It's very labor intensive. We have 2 guys that pretty much do this full time, and again we're trying to get away from that, but that is the old system, and this is what the old meter looks like. And again, the expected life expectancy is 12 to 15 years, and we're between 18 and 23 years on most of our meters. The remote reading device is a touchpad or a pin system, which I just showed you. We have some limited drive-by, and what that is that as you go by, there's a radio transmission sent out but it's actually, we send a message to the receiver, and then it gets a reading and then sends it back to us. It's better than the touchpad, but it's not, it doesn't give you daily reads, where the new system will give you daily reads. The reading guns that we have from Neptune, they're 20 years old. They're hard to replace. They're very hard on batteries. And the charging rack that we have, because you have to charge this every night, almost impossible to find batteries for it. So it's very hard to keep that thing running and charged up. So that is the present system. And let me just change something here. Oops, sorry. There we go. Again, the meters is 10 to 15s, easy to tamper with, and the older ones, the ones that are 20 years and old, have a small percentage of lead. The reading device, 20 years old, no longer being manufactured, not sold with meters, and no longer reliable. The touchpad and the pin system. The reading guns, again, very difficult to repair. Software, it's Neptune software, where because we have all Neptune meters, we're stuck with Neptune. We have limited use and expandability with that system, and very high maintenance costs. We pay $3,600 a year just for the right to use their software program. The data that we have is 20 years old. It needs updating. We need to know the meter history. We need to know when they're installed, the type of service coming in. We want to know if you got a lead service coming in, because if you do, then we want to turn around and replace that and get the lead out of the system. Size of service and contacts. We have a lot of customers out there that haven't kept up with letting us know who the new owners are and where the bills are being sent. So again, it's something that we need to update. The proposed system is what's called a fixed network system. And it has a small antenna on the roof of Town Hall. There'll be a collector at Poet Seat where the fire department and the police department have their antenna on top of the water tank. We'll have a collector there, and we'll have a collector somewhere on the west side. The range for these collectors is 5 miles. It is line of sight for the most part. And one of the things that a company will do is they'll come in and do a propagation study, and they will make sure that we get the right location for us to get 100% of the readings. You'll get updated software to include work order system, extensive history, background, updated points of contact, and several trouble alarms. What I mean by alarms is, should you go on vacation to Florida and you come back and we know you're on vacation, you've got no water flow, then all of a sudden you have a spike and you start having water flow, and you haven't come back and told us that you're back yet, it will turn around and alert us that there's a problem there, where we can go in and turn the water off, notify you if you leave us a point of contact or a telephone number. So again, it's very, very interactive. The other thing it'll do is it will get 4 to 6 readings every day. And you should have, on a normal night, you should have no flow. If all of a sudden you've got 10 or 20 gallons of flow in the hours between midnight and 6 o'clock in the morning, that will alert us to the fact that maybe you've got a toilet that's now leaking, or you have some other issue there. And again, we can alert you to that. The programs, the new meter with a remote transmitter and automated billing for closing. So right now, when you want to close on a piece of property, you have to contact us. We have to turn around and go out and get a reading on that meter. We have to come back and produce a bill, and I believe we charge you $25 for that. This new system here you come in, say we're closing in an hour, we can turn around and read the meter from from the office, and we'll be able to turn around and do the bill for you automatically. We can't do that with the old system. So again, it's a savings of manpower, it's a convenience for you. The other thing with the new software, the new programs, is that we can go to monthly billing, which is one of our goals. We get to monthly billing, so you're not going to get that massive bill every 6 months. You're going to get a small bill like you do your cable bill, like you do your telephone bill, an electric bill or gas bill if you have it. And of course, what you're going to see is water and sewer is going to be a lot less than any of those other bills if it's on a monthly basis. When it's not on a monthly basis, it's a big problem. And the other advantage with that is when we have a problem at your residence or your business, we don't know that you have a problem for 6 months. With this program, with these new meters, we'll know within a day, sometimes maybe within an hour. The advantages: daily readings, 4 to 6 times a day. It's a high-powered MTU, so we'll end up getting all of the information. Low labor requirements. There are no labor requirements, and major software improvements. Advantage of daily readings: it assists in leak detection. About every 8 to 10 meters will have a device in it, built into it, that will send us an alarm if there's a water main break somewhere in the area. It'll do that from either pressure or from a sound wave going through it. The nice thing is that we'll get immediate notification if there's something going on. And we'll end up getting multiple meters that will record that, and the computer software can then turn around and dictate and say, on the corner of 3rd and Elm Street, there's a problem, go check it out. We can then send our guys out to find, with the leak detection equipment we have, and find that, yes, in fact, we have a leak. Under the old system, we have to wait until it breaks through the ground, and that can take months sometimes. So this is a huge upgrade in our leak detection program. And one of the problems that we're running into right now is we know that we have 27 to 29% unaccounted for water. This will help us combat the leaks. It will also help us combat the losses through the meter program. Real-time readings for closing, as I explained. You come in, tell us you're closing. 5 minutes later, you're walking out with a bill. Water ban violations. We had a drought 2 years ago, and a little frustrated. We did put a restricted use out there, and yet there were people that were still irrigating their lawns and stuff of that nature. This will tell us that when somebody has got a violation, and we'll be able to turn around and send them a letter saying, hey, I know it's voluntary, but please cut back or stop completely. And meter tampering, especially with the older meters that are very easy to tamper with. These new meters are very hard to tamper with, and when you do tamper with it, we'll get an alarm, and we'll basically stop you from tampering with the meters. No meter readers, no manual reads for closing, greatly reduced meter repairs, better system, better information, less management time, faster bill processing, less manual bills, and again, we're going to try to go to monthly billing. Reduction for management time. As a DPW director, I do have to occasionally get involved with a dispute on a water bill. With this new system, it basically lays it right out for you what your water use is, what your water consumption is, when you use the water. So if you come into my office and say, well, this bill is ridiculous, we never use this water, I'll be able to show you when and how you use the water, and you'll leave there at least knowing what caused your high bill. where right now, we have no clue what caused your high bill. 6 months is a long time frame. There'll be, my staff, 5 to 10% savings. Treasurer collector will save 5 to 10%. Mayor will save a little bit of time, because he does get involved as well. Field superintendent. My estimate, and I know this is a low estimate, is $10,000 per year. Again, the advantage for the software, we can talk about multiple rates. We can talk about monthly readings. We can talk about automated maintenance records, work orders. Everything gets, in the new software program, everything will get documented so that 6 years down the road, we'll be able to pull it up and we'll be able to show that, you know, this one's been a problem, or there's some kind of an issue with it. We will know when we change that meter out, so we can turn around at that point, schedule when it needs to be replaced again. Multiple alarms, again, for high or low usage. Tentative schedule, as you all probably saw in the paper, that it's on hold until funding is available. It's a 2-year project, and we'd like to start it tomorrow, but right now it's definitely not going to happen. The question, one of the things about this program is that it actually is very cost effective. We think there's going to be an increase in revenue. The older a meter is, the less accurate that it reads. We currently bring in $4 million. We think we're going to see a 5% increase in revenue because of the new meters. That works out to be $200,000 a year. We are going to reduce the meter reader, and we're going to reduce the meter repairman. That is, salary is $42,000, benefits $8,000, vehicle $5,000. The meter repairman, we cut it in half because you're still going to have to do some meter repair work, although this is, again, not as much. There's $21,500, $4,000 on the benefits, and $2,500 on the vehicles. Management savings, again, I talked about $10,000. Theft. Theft is a big item, and nationwide, the average theft on water is about 10%. I utilized 5% here, and we came up with another $200,000. Total benefits of this program to the town of Greenfield, or the city of Greenfield, is $493,686. Now here's the cost. The receivers, the collectors, are going to cost us $150,000 to put those antennas out. Maybe less, but budget $150,000. The radio transmitters, again, if we buy a system that has a meter and a transmitter, we looked at $150 per transmitter times 5,697, because every meter will have to have a transmitter. That comes up to $8,905,000. The meters, we're going to replace 75% of the meters because they're old, they're beyond their useful life. That 75% works out to be $4,273, comes up to $640,950. My suggestion, or at least one of the suggestions, is to hire 2 part-time employees for 2 years at $20 an hour or $16 an hour, and run them 40 hours a week. It turns out to be another $166,000. Miscellaneous costs, there's going to be some tools and some other equipment, maybe a beat-up old vehicle that they can drive around in. We came up with $50,000 for that. Total cost is going to be 1.902, and if you finance this for 10 years at 4%, that works out to be $259,000. Obviously, $259,000 is a less than $496, so there's a net benefit to the town of $259,000. again, this is a very good program for the town. Now, we're talking here about borrowing the money for it. There may be another way of doing it. There's a company called Fathom, and they come in and they actually work with the town. And what they do is they will turn around utilizing our O&M budget and working with it. And instead of us buying all the stuff, they will lease us the meters for 15 years. And they will also go through the entire program of scheduling and quality control and bidding and all of that in order to make this happen. We're just looking into that right now. That may be a possibility, and we may be able to do that this summer, but it's something that we have to talk with the city council and the mayor, and everybody has to come to agreement on it. But this is the way of the future. Your water is one of the most important resources that you have. Your sewer is a very important resource that we have. And in order for us to control what's happening and to know where the water is going, we have to turn around and get smart, and we have to get smarter meters. And that is what the DPW is proposing, and I hope that we can get this program started in the near future. Thank you and have a good evening.
All of our productions at GCTV are sponsored in part by Bay State Health, providing the care you and your family need when you need it close to home. Visit them online at baystatehealth.org. Greenfield Savings Bank. Visit them at 400 Main Street in Greenfield. Call them at 774-3191 or go online to greenfieldsavings.com. Greenfield Community College, providing access and excellence in higher education in the Pioneer Valley. Visit them at gcc.mass.edu. The Hammond Family. The Hammond family are longtime supporters of Greenfield Community Television. New Fortune Chinese Restaurant on the Mohawk Trail in Greenfield. Visit them online at newfortunema.com. Call them at 772-0838 and check them out on Facebook. Real Cleaning Services, cleaning Hampshire and Franklin County since 1972. We don't cut corners, we clean them. Check them out online at realclean.com. Call them at 413-422-1143. People's United Bank, located at 45 Federal Street in Greenfield. You can call them at 774-3713 or visit them online at peoples.com. The Solar Store of Greenfield, replacing fossil fuels and nuclear power one home at a time. Visit them at 23 Fisk Ave. Call them at 413-772-3122 or visit them online at solarstoreofgreenfield.com. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting all of GCTV's productions.